Hey, hi you guys, and welcome back to Through Evangelist Eyes. My name's Rod Savala, and we're going through the Bible and just seeing some of the connections or the inferences you can make in the stories that we read in Scripture and the lessons that we can maybe glean from them and relate that to evangelism. And we're in Numbers right now in chapter 10, and I really I love the way this is put. Let me get to it. In chapter 10, starting at verse 11, and the name of this video is The First Move. And the reason I like that is because my question is, who makes the first move? The answer, God does. God has always been the one making the first move to get man back, to say to people, come back. The Lord has already shown his desire to have you come back. So listen to what this says. Now, I'm reading at chapter 10, verse 11. Now in the second year, in the second month, on the 20th of the month, the cloud was lifted up from over the tabernacle of the testimony, and the sons of Israel set out. Now, they set out, so they moved out for the first time. It's been approximately 1 month and 20 days. They set the tabernacle up for the first time, and now the cloud has ascended, and it's the sign that they are to pack up and move. Take everything apart. And I would suggest that part of evangelism is taking apart what you know about this salvation story. To whether it's an unbeliever or whether it's a young believer, we ought to be able to take things apart and say to them, this is why God told us to do this or to do that. This is what's in Scripture. Here's the condition of man. How did he get there? Here's how he got there. What's been going on? What's all this? Why all the madness in the world? Let's take it apart. This is what sin has done to the human race. Was it ever God's intent? No. God's intent was to have a perfect garden, but he allowed for this. He did allow for it. But we ought to be able to take it apart. Take apart the mystery of life, and we should be not only taking it apart, I'm convinced we should make the first move. So many times in evangelism, I have wanted to be quiet. I just want to get my work done, and too many times that's just what I'll do. I'm just going to get my work done and I'm on my way. I can't tell you how many times I've thought to myself, hey, just start it. Hey, just, excuse me. Or to one of my customers, hey, can I ask you a personal question? Tell me what you think about Jesus. And wow, I made the first move, but you could tell God had already been there. And it becomes evident in the way the conversation goes and just by their response. So this is going to be the first time the tabernacle, it is the first time that it was raised up, and it's the first time that it's going to be taken apart so that the Jews can move. Judah sets out first, And who is of the tribe of Judah? Jesus. Then second, check this out. Second, the tabernacle is taken down. So Judah moves, the tabernacle comes down, and then the third one to move is Reuben, the camp of Reuben. Who was Reuben? Reuben was the firstborn of Jacob. And it made me think the elders among us, not the young people. You know how often you hear somebody say, oh, it's the young people, they're on fire for Jesus. Well, what happened to the fire in us? In the elders who have been around for a lot longer than the young people. The young people ought to be looking at the elders going, what happened to them? How did they catch on fire? They've been burning for a long time. Okay? So let the elders move. I love it. I had a senior citizen in a wheelchair come out with me once, Phyllis, and I never had so many people respond. She would hold her sign at the intersection. Oh my gosh. It was such a joy to see, not only in Phyllis's countenance, what it did for her, but what it did for others out here. So let's make the first move. Let's make the first move and go tell somebody about Jesus. God bless you. Here we go.